Good morning, everybody. This is the very first episode of a new show that I'm starting, and it is centered around starting a company from scratch. That's probably how you got here. You were looking for something along those lines, and here we are. A buddy of mine and we're starting a company from scratch. We're going to do fun, outdoorsy products just for people to get outside and have a good time with. Nothing too serious like the North Face. And yesterday we started our company, literally. Filed the paperwork with the state of Oregon, filed the paperwork with the federal government, and today we're opening a bank account. So this is literally the very beginning, and I just wanted to share our process with you, the little bits of knowledge that we've gained along the way. Obviously, you can find this stuff by Googling around. That's what I've done, and asking people. Asking people is a great resource, but it's taken a lot of time. It's taken 2 weeks for us to sort of narrow down, talk to lawyers, figure out exactly what we're doing. So hopefully I can distill some of that knowledge for you, get you on your way, and get you doing whatever you want to do with your business, which is really the ultimate goal here. Cool. So when you are going to form a company, obviously it'll differ a little bit if you're by yourself or with partners. But really, you have two main choices to do. There's two options. There's an LLC, which is a limited liability corporation, and there is a full-on corporation, C Corp, S Corp. Those are the two most common. And so let's talk about the differences a little bit here. LLC is super simple to set up. It literally took me 20 minutes yesterday on the Oregon State website. And it's also the simplest tax structure. The money that is earned by the company or lost by the company passes through to the owners. So me and my partner, we each own 50%. Say the company makes $10,000, woohoo, we made some money. At the end of the year, $5,000 gets reported on my personal income, and $5,000 will get reported on his personal income. So that the company doesn't actually pay any tax. Money doesn't, it's called a pass-through entity because everything passes through. So if you lose $10,000, then I can claim a deduction of $5,000 on mine, or a loss, and my partner could claim $5,000 on his. So that's an LLC. It's crazy simple. There aren't a lot of not regulations, but there isn't a lot of regular work that you need to do, like on a quarterly basis, sending in taxes or anything like that. You can just file once a year. Super simple. The other option is an S Corp or a C Corp, and those are kind of what you think of when you think of a company. So it is a more robust structure. It stands on its own. It pays corporate taxes. So the big difference there is that as money comes in, that same $10,000 that was earned there, the company pays corporate tax on that $10,000 earned. And then when it goes out to me and my partner, if we decide to pay ourselves, we could decide not to, but if we decide to pay ourselves a salary, then we get taxed on our personal income as a salary from that business. So essentially that $10,000 gets double taxed. It gets taxed once at the corporation level, and then once again when you pay yourself. There are some benefits to the C Corp or the S Corp. You can do shares, for example. So you could have a pool of 1,000 shares, and as you hire employees, you could say, cool, you get 2 shares of the company to help incentivize the employees. It's a little bit harder to do on the LLC side. It's just not quite as clean cut, or so I'm told. I don't know the super details here, but that's the gist of it. So if you're looking to bring on investors that will be putting in money into the company and will then want shares in return, then a C Corp is generally the way to go. But if you're not, if you're just going to bootstrap it, which means you're basically going to earn money and fund it yourself, or yeah, if you're just going to go it solo without investors, then the LLC is really enough. It's going to protect you from any like damages that the company does, unless it's negligent on your part. And so it gives you some sort of protection there. And like literally, it took me 20 minutes to do yesterday, so it's super quick. I'll talk later this week a little bit more about the operating agreement. That's the thing that takes a little bit longer, and that is the agreement between you and your partners around things like equity sharing and contributions and what happens if one of you dies, or yeah, those sort of things. How do you settle disputes? So it's kind of more of the legal document. The LLC was super easy to set up, but you should have an operator's agreement as well. So we're going to get that finalized later this week. So yeah, the thing I'm doing today is opening a bank account. I got the LLC yesterday with the EIN number. It's the federal, it's the employment identification number. I'm not going to edit this, so every little screw up here you're getting. Yeah, your steps go: file for LLC in your state or in the state of Delaware. It seems to be a popular choice. Get your EIN number, takes 2 minutes. And then with your EIN number, you can open a bank account. So that's what I'll be doing today. Later this week, I'll chat to you about the operation agreement or operator's agreement. But yeah, that's the distilled knowledge after a couple weeks of researching and talking to lawyers and talking to friends and everything else. We're just going to keep it simple. You can always change it later. So get started today with an LLC if you're ready, and let's go. Let's start making stuff.